What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as Solifin85. Welcome to another vlog, Paycheck to Paycheck. um, so, life is crazy. Life is crazy. I just got home. Literally just walked in the door. But I wanted to do a rather hopefully quick vlog, if not a ramble vlog, talking a little bit about life, my life in particular, as vlogs go. Impart some knowledge, maybe help some folks. We'll see. I share my life experiences here, sometimes vague, sometimes explicit, sometimes, very detailed. But living paycheck to paycheck, growing up as I have, as many of us do, um, life sometimes, in my experience, 80% of the time, is just trying to make it through the day, trying to make it to the next day, through the next bill, through the next rent payment, through the next car payment. Um, Basically, just trying to make your life happen as best you can. I am not a man that was born into money. I have no love for money. I hate money, but it allows me to get things that I enjoy and live a life that some people, you know, would really like to have. I'm not rich by any means, but uh, that also doesn't mean that my life has been easy either. Um, I deal with a lot of medical complications. Um, and if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't have any of this. Most of this would probably be in storage somewhere, which if I wasn't able to find a job in time, might get auctioned off. Um, but somehow, some way, um, we tend to hold it together. I have no idea how. It's either luck or skill, the universe working in our favor. A lot of people would, give thanks to a deity. I get that. Um, but there's a one thing in play you got to remember when you're living day to day, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when you're just trying to survive, whether you're sleeping on the street temporarily, sleeping in your car temporarily, going through a divorce, going through a breakup, getting kicked out of your place, electric's off. The one root thing in all of it, the one thing to never be forgotten is you. You are the source of your whole universe, of your whole world. Um, we can either help or complicate our own suffering. We can either help or complicate our own struggles, our own situations. And for me, one thing that has been really complicated has been my past. My past has bit me in the ass, so to speak, plenty of times the last few years. Um, it put me in a state where I lost pretty much everything for the most part, except for obviously some collectibles, but didn't have a place. My future was gone, the one that I was working towards. I lost family members. I lost loved ones. I felt like I was losing myself, but I held in there. I lost my past because of my, flashbacks and repressed memories, my divorce, my father's death, what happened with my sister, whatnot. Look, I don't know how the hell I got through it. I really don't. But what I do know is that there are constants and variables in every situation in life. The one constant that I know of is me. The variables tend to be my mood, tend to be how I look at things, how I deal with my medical conditions, whether I accept them or not, whether I embrace them and run with them and deal with them. Situations as well, you know. Um, I've had a crazy life. But the other constants that have been in my life has been a couple of family members that have been pillars in my life. Um, Well, a few actually. But like I said, recently I lost one, and I'm still dealing with that. I'm still dealing with the grief from day to day. I think about him. I am him. I'll sometimes sing in the car, and I sing along to songs. I suck at it, but it is what it is. But when I'm singing, I hear my father because my dad sang a lot. He was a singer. He was a pastor, a missionary. And there are days when I'm coming home from work, when I'm going to work, trying to keep that money coming in, bills paid and whatnot. Um, and I hear my father singing. I hear him through me, and it's the weirdest fucking thing. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of weirds me out, to be honest. But it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing doing all this, and but there are other factors that contribute as well, especially like in my life that I'm able to stream, have gear, have what I have, and that's no kids. You know, there are times I barely make it by. Most of the stuff in my life I've gotten through recent events in my life. I've held on to it um, because of situation was awesome. I was able to do what I wanted to do. Um, but if I had kids, if I had other obligations as a single guy, I, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I want to do. I can't imagine. I mean, making it day to day, making it paycheck to paycheck with my medical necessities and the appointments and whatnot that I still have to work out, the physical therapy I'm going to have to go through when my benefits kick in, the time it takes. I can't imagine what it's like for a parent. I really can't. I know what it's like to be in a committed marriage. I know that, that takes time out of your life, but you dedicate that time to another person. I'm privileged in a lot of ways right now in my life. And, it's something that I try to cherish and respect because not a whole lot of people get to do what I get to do at the moment. Now, with that said, there are, I don't want to say sacrifices, but things that could have gone one way and I probably could have cherished as well, but unfortunately, my heart fell out and my life is going the way it's going now. You know, Key mentions being potential relationships, potential things that happened recently that if they didn't happen, I probably would be somewhere else. It's that path in life you think about. It's the broader stuff that I think about coming home from work and where would I be? Where would the world be? What's it all mean? Basically, I hate being such a deep thinker, but it just pops in there. I even missed my exit because I was driving and I was thinking, keeping my eye on the road, and drove right by my exit, an exit I take every day. And my brain was just engaged in, what's coming up with the holidays. Holidays are going to be rough because of key family members missing. Um, it's funny when you lose a family member, it really kind of puts a reality into check, especially if it's a parent and you're growing up. I'm getting closer and closer to 40. Um, some people might look at me and think the shirt, the collectibles, the video games and whatnot. What the hell does this guy know about life? And you may be right, but it's a life I've lived. It's what I like to do. It's how I like to dress. And there are people that'll look at you someday, especially if you're a nerd. Thankfully, most of the stuff we do, our lifestyle has become pretty mainstream for the most part. But when people look at you and they look at you weird and they're just like, what the fuck is up with this person? Fuck them. I mean, look, you are who you are. Do what you want to do, you know. And if people want to hate on you for it, let them. It's their own problem. It's not yours. If they perceive you as who you are, then, what the hell do they think about themselves? What standards do they set that they see you as somebody that is lower than them? I've never understood that mentality. I'll never get it. But then again, I try to train myself and work on myself mentally. And it's crazy. So in the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, if you're just coming into it, if you're growing up into it, and you're getting out on your own, or if you've lived it for a while, you know that things can be rough. Things can be so scary and jinged. If one piece falls out, you lose a good chunk of what you built. Whether it be losing a partner, whether it be losing your job, losing your car, um, anything. There are key components that if something goes out, if something messes up, living paycheck to paycheck, it's scary as hell. And you do sometimes wonder, why do I go through this? Why keep doing it? But the key thing is, it's your life. You know, use the source as a job. Use your paychecks. Use your car, your tools to do what you want to do to be who you want to be. Sometimes it takes more money than most. For me, I try to just have what I have, and if I can get something, great. If not, so be it. Although as a gamer, obviously, and a streamer, my priorities tend to be different than other people. But it's still pretty crazy, But we live our lives, we go about it, and you do wonder, you do get scared, you do get freaked out. You kind of lose some security, but it happens. It's part of life. Took me a while to learn that personally. Early late 20s, I started seeping in, and early 20s actually, very early 20s. Um, and when you again the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, man, it's ups and downs, roller coaster, emotions, security. Um, Especially if you have health concerns, it can be crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Bit of a ramble, but stay safe, stay sane. Remember, you're awesome, and never let the world tell you otherwise. See ya.